Hola, ¿cómo estás? Buenos días, bitches in the middle of the night. Buenos noches. I don't hang with roaches. Okay, I'm on time. My executive producer was on my case about being late. Executive producer was on my ass about timing. Had me feeling like Mary Jane. All right. Give everybody a second to skedaddle in here. Chat. Let me just say, the hair eats down. The hair eats down. Okay. I can't wait to do my makeup with it. Okay, so the lace is melted. It just looks like a lace. Like, I gotta put a little makeup right there, but whatever. Just looks like a lace. Sweater hair combo. Clock it. Thank you. All right, this week, I'm gonna be so honest with y'all. We are battling against an illusion of time. Okay? Let me get y'all straight. Let me get you together. There we go. We are battling with the illusion of time. Okay? Let's go ahead and get into it. So today's the full moon in Aries. A lot of nostalgic energy. A lot of energy basically saying like, let's get back to the normal you. And you're probably like, what's the normal you? The normal you is the version of yourself that you feel the most uncomfortable with. The normal you is very uncomfortable. Okay? Let's get into why I say these. One moment. Okay, so today's the 6th. The full moon the full moon is today, and also Mercury enters Scorpio today. So when I say the most uncomfortable version, I mean the version of you that you find a lot of discomfort in. If it's being in the place of, how can I say it? If you're comfortable being in a very like I love me energy, then that, if you're uncomfortable being selfish, or you're uncomfortable being obsessed with yourself, if you're uncomfortable being the artist version of yourself, if you're uncomfortable being like the designer, being the influencer, whatever version of yourself that you're uncomfortable in is basically what Mercury and Scorpio will be assisting you with, because you're finding inner power through transformation of the unseen or the unknown, and the unseen and the unknown is the uncomfortable. Point blank period. Okay, it's the uncomfortable. And most people, they find a lot of discomfort in the simple things that are the things that actually make them at peace. And so I had asked them, like, what do we need to release, or why I asked what I need to release and what's to focus on this month or this week. And it was the Seven of Pentacles. Now, Seven of Pentacles means different things for different people. Seven of Pentacles to me means harvest, but it also means patience. It means like, laying the seeds, watering them, and then allowing the seeds to grow. So when the Seven of Pentacles comes out for a weekly energy, it just gives me anticipate. It's so funny because I ordered Chinese food, and the fortune cookie paper came out, and it was like anticipate transformation and positive transformation and something else, but it was anticipated, because there is this expectation that I think a lot of people feel like their expectations are built on their insecurities, and their expectations are actually extremely confident. Like, it's a confident boost and it's a confidence reassure. With Mercury going into Scorpio, we've already learned Scorpio and Aries energy as a whole, instead of it just being solely on Scorpio, then solely on Aries. But then you have to remember that we have Scorpio with the sister sign, which is Taurus. Okay. So when you think of Scorpio and Taurus energy, you think of what? Very obsessed, very like intense, very luxurious of what they preference. Okay. So this week, your thoughts are basically preference on the luxury of the mind and luxury of the way you speak. Simple. Most people, they don't like that. They don't like to have a luxurious, optimistic outlook on things. They're very pessimistic. They're very negative. They're very odd, and they're very weird. Okay. So when you think about if someone can't be optimistic, 9 times out of 10, they are probably uncomfortable in being optimistic. Okay. Most people are very uncomfortable with being optimistic. When the energy transpired this week, now that Mercury is in Aries, and Mercury's in Scorpio, and then the full moon in Aries, that's why I was saying last week, I said it felt like Mars. Like, as much as we want to sit here and say, like, this energy is this, and this planet is doing this, and this zodiac sign is in this. Like, no, seriously, this gives me Mars. And because Mars is the planet of war, ambition, drive, sex, like now I see why there's so much discomfort in the world, because of the fact of the discomfort that comes from this like overstimulation of passion and overdrive of things that people are like, oh my God, like, no, I don't know. No. So like, I give y'all that example of like people being so entertained by like chaos, like entertained by like entertainment, drama. If we're already going through a shit ass situation when it comes to society, why are everybody finding so much like comfortability, or they finding so much like peace in drama, but can't seem to find a grounding or seem to find peace in the middle of chaos? They're finding it to be entertaining instead of finding it to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing copacetic about entertainment drama. Okay, so just keep that in mind, right? And also, the transformation of people's minds is that this is where you are going, and this is where you're about to turn. Okay, everybody's about to take a sharp left, because you're gonna realize that what's happening in the outer world is actually going to help you more than anything right now. Okay, you're like, what do you mean? The government shutting down, the problems that they're having in the world, it's going to help you more than anything right now, because see, when there's bigger things happening, that means that it's affecting the people that are in charge of the things over you. When it starts to, only time shit really matters is when the people that are over you start being affected. When little people are affected, they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. When they are affected, that's when it starts to be an issue. So as we go on the month of October, you guys will start to see that the problems that are happening in the world will help you. Assistant programs, resources, advice, extensions, waiving, like all these things will start to happen. Okay, so the biggest thing is the fact that you find a lot of comfort in the peace. You find, like peace in the midst of chaos. Okay. But if you are hyper fixated on fixing things, if you're hyper fixated on trying to figure things out, if you're hyper fixated on trying to act in a certain way that doesn't align with you, then you will see the downfall of that. Thanks, Pooh. you will see the downfall of your overworking in the wrong direction. There's more grace and reward in rest this week than there is in you hurrying up and figuring out. There's more reward than in you finding a outlet to express certain things than it is for you to go indulge in things that don't make sense. Okay, so transmute in something that is creative. Ignore anything that is destructive. Okay, there's a fine line between these energies, but I will say it's too close for my comfort. The destruction and the creative energy, disruptive energy, they're too close for me. It's too close. Like the line is too thin where if you take the wrong turn, everything's gonna fucking self-destruct. I don't like that type of shit. That's not my vibe. That's not my thing. But I can see where the world is getting really confused between their right and their left. Have you ever been looking at someone and they say, oh, they're to your left, but it's really your right? So instead of them being able to specify and say, oh, my left, your right, they just be like, oh, to the right. But that's really their left. I know that's like a dumb analogy, but that's kind of how I see it. Like if we're turning towards each other, that means our direction, our sense of direction is opposite. And so if you don't specify your left, my right, then I'm just gonna, if you say left, I'm gonna think my left, because I'm gonna think me first, right? And because we're in Libra season, it's a us type of thing. It's that mirror, it's that reflection, it's that domino effect, it's that string of fate. So you have to specify, oh no, my left, your right. My trust issues, your insecurities. My authenticity, your optimism. They go hand in hand. You got to be able to specify. One thing that I'm noticing about there is the fact of that you have to also be able to take the initiative this week. You never know how much somebody will work something out for you if you don't take the initiative to even discuss it. Okay, a lot of people they rather ignore the problem, or they rather just see what the other person's gonna do, or see what the other people are gonna do, how they're gonna handle it. And I'm just letting you guys know, take the initiative. Now, I'm not saying you need to go ahead and dissect it, but at least start to form the idea and communicate it. Okay, that will be very beneficial for you guys this week, because with the rest, you're collecting information. Dreams are at an all-time high. They're very odd. You know what I meant to look up? One second, hold on, because I was just on the phone with my homegirl, and I should have fucking said it, but I couldn't think of it. But now I'm sitting here and I just thought of it. I had a dream, and it was I had a dream. It's not funny, it's quite serious. But anywho, I had a dream. I had a dream. And the dream was there was an earthquake, okay? And it was crazy because the earthquake was insane. And what was insane was the fact of that. So the earthquake happened, everything was fine. But I remember like somebody like, making sure I was safe or whatever. But the crazy thing about it is I remember I tried to get on the elevator, and the elevator would not go up. Like it wouldn't go up. Like I was trying to get somewhere and it wouldn't go up. So what I realized is the fact of that, for one, earthquakes are basically tower energy change, significant change. And what was crazy is the elevator was like, I could no longer go up. So now it was like, okay, so what else am I supposed to do? The second part that blew me is that somebody was like, yeah, so it's going to strike again in 5 hours. So I'm going to give you the symbolism, and this might be different in everybody's life, but how I see it showing up is that once one shift and shink-a-dink and rump happens this week, or, whenever the timeline happens for you, when one happens, there's another one coming right after, okay? So please keep that in mind. Please stay open. This is a test. because Pluto is one of the most underestimated planets that we deal with. Most people, they kind of count Pluto out because Pluto is so small, and then everybody's like, oh, well, Pluto's a star, it's an asteroid. You know, they always misidentify it. But Pluto comes with one of the most heaviest energies because it's the dark, it's the underworld, it's the unseen, it's the inner, it's like the underpower, the power struggle. You know, power struggles normally happen from people's problems within. Power struggles don't happen from surface level issues. They happen from problems that are underneath the surface that need to be brought up. If you look at your Pluto placement and you look at, you know, the placement that you might have synastry with somebody when it comes to that Pluto placement, you'll understand that the power struggle doesn't come from above, it comes from within. So even in the world right now, a lot of the problems are not above, they're from within. That girl, I'm gonna give you another example. That girl, do y'all remember me telling y'all that a lot of racism was gonna come up and you needed to just watch what the fuck you say? I told you racism is a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke because of the fact of it's people fighting against an energy that they can't explain about their admiration for another individual. They can't even explain the hate. They can't explain the discomfort. They can't explain it because it's not something from their present moment energy. These are things that are from like their ancestors and like their parents. Like none of them have actually experienced anything that would have them have this much hatred and this much blockage in their heart for another individual. They're just emotions that's passed through. And you know who you want to thank for that? Pluto. Power struggles are from within. They're not from surface level. They're not from issues that you can see in person. They're from within. If you ever see women go at it for no reason, it's because it's a problem from within. If you ever see men go at it go at it with each other, it's never from a problem on the outside. It's from a problem within. Because Mercury is in Scorpio, people are going to be struggling with the power within when they communicate. So expect people to want to argue. That's why people are so entertained by arguments and going back and forth with people. When in reality, I mean, I just collect the things that people say and then charge it to the game or just charge it back to them. You know, it's not, I think more people have to understand that we don't all have to have the same outlook on life. We just got to have a clear understanding of mutual respect. And because power struggles are only for people that have inner issues, that means the respect is just something that it seeps out of people's like their pores. The self-respect will also be something that you will see. It's like self-respect, confidence, all of that will be very loud this week. Self-respect and self-confidence, very loud. You know, they always say insecurity is loud. I don't mean loud in the sense of voice. I mean in the sense of aura. Aura, like it like exudes out of you. So just keep that in mind, okay? I mean, I think at the end of the day, because a power struggle is your inner issue, I think the best way to transmute that is to reassure yourself of that you are not the issue, and then you will find alignment. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Okay, tomorrow, the Mercury in Scorpio squares Pluto in Aquarius. Once again, Pluto energy. This intense aspect could spark heated debates. This aspect can spark heated debates and challenge your perspective. Stay calm and keep an open mind to find common ground. Thank you. Thank you. Jokes never lies. Thank you. What is the topic? Just tuned in. We are talking about the weekly update, weekly energy. Also, on the 8th, Venus in Virgo sextiles Jupiter in Cancer. This is an ideal day for making money or falling in love, as this pleasant aspect is here to bring all the warm, happy feelings. Use this energy to put down roots with someone you love this winter. Now, this is what I was saying about creative or destructive, okay? Stop procreating. Stop procreating humans. Stop making babies. You know, I hate to tell y'all that because I mean it's a very natural thing to do, but I think that most people are they're not making. I think, okay, here's my thing. I'm always down for a good hood jam. I'm always down for you guys to do your thing, smash who you want to smash, be open with your body, be celibate, be abstinent. I don't give a fuck. Do what you're going to do, but stop procreating humans. And you need to stop procreating humans. There needs to be a stop on procreation of humans because of the fact of the world gave up on the generations that are currently on this earth. Their target is the Gen Z or Gen Z and down. Okay? They don't give a fuck about us and up. We need to get a clear understanding of what's going on before we procreate. And procreation is a poor people's sport. What do people do when they have nothing else to do and no money? They fuck. They fuck. Now, just being honest. People don't got no money. What do they find themselves doing? Fucking. Because the energy that they feel to create, to transmute, to create a project, they procreate humans. That's why people that be in shitty ass situations procreate more children than anything. 5, 7, 6, 8, 9, 10 kids. What the fuck? Okay? That's the type of energy that we are in. They are setting up society on the outside world so people don't have nothing else to do but fuck. That's why there's a conversation going on why creators make so much money, because they wanted you guys to not be able to be a face of a company. And I told you guys, social media, the internet is the new corporate America. So what they did was they basically said, if they gonna make some money, they have to be pushed into the most authentic version of themselves. Now, I'm not saying if you work in corporate or you work in finances, you're not gonna make no money. That's not what I'm saying, or whatever career you make. But because we're in the age of Aquarius has to do with technology. So I don't care if it's an ebook, a podcast, I don't care what the fuck it is. It's a digital. I remember telling people like 2, 3 years ago, you need to do more digital things. Like that's just the way it's gonna go. It doesn't matter what you do on the side, but you need to do something digital. And it can be faceless. It can be, that's why AI is also coming up to be something big. People are not understanding the internet is new corporate America. So if the internet is new corporate America, and so many people have the fear of being perceived, that feeling that they're having in their genitals when they really should be creating, or they see a life that they desire. I told y'all, people are getting tired of watching other people and being fulfilled and being envious of their desires. The people are tired of that. People after the whole COVID situation and we got back to kind of normal living or whatever, or the new normal, people really started to get very tired of seeing other people like being envious. So now what they do is they either A, just watch shit that they feel like is beneath them, or B, when someone is going up against someone else's authenticity, they just bandwagon from there. But in the sense of them actually watching the person and being envious, you will see that the collective is very tired of being in an envious state of mind. To be in envy is probably one of the most deadliest things, because now you find yourself being obsessed. When you find yourself being obsessed, now your mind and your subconscious is literally consumed of the same thing that you said you don't like. So basically what people now doing are starting to say, you know what, instead of me watching the Black Girl Luxury, instead of me watching the Finance Bros, instead of me watching all these different people, what they're doing is saying, you know what, I'm just going to watch shit that's at my level or beneath me so I don't feel as of a fuck up. Okay, keep going. On the 11th, Venus and Virgo opposites Saturn and Pisces. Relationships might feel a little unsettling today as we notice others' flaws. With the mask off, the truth is clear. Now you see everything. Ask yourself, are these deal breakers? Why do I keep telling you guys that this is the energy? Don't procreate humans. Okay, don't procreate humans. Don't procreate humans. Okay, don't do that. Because I think a lot of situations that are happening right now, if I could just be honest with you, most people are finding where people fit in their lives. And that's fine. I think that that's very helpful for them. I think that's very honorable of them because so many times we take one situation and we say end all be all. And normally that puts us in a predicament to where we now have a burning desire in us to have something else, which that is fine. But one thing that I'm clearly seeing in the collective is the fact of that there's nothing wrong with you allowing someone to be exactly what they are in your life while you still be you and still find what's for you. Okay? Well, you don't have to be all in or all out. And that's something that I've been trying to get everybody to understand because, you know, we have a toxic, we have a toxic trait of that as a generation because we had at least one avoidant parent or we had one emotionally irrational parent. And this could have been whatever adults around you. We suffer from those two things. So if you had either one or the other or you had both, 9 times out of 10, you have an abandonment wound. Our whole collective has an abandonment wound. You know, I mean, I think a lot of people are overcoming the abandonment wound, but I think a lot of people in the collective, they have an abandonment wound. And so one thing that I know that October is doing is trying to put people in an energy of abundance to say you don't miss out on anything or you aren't missing out on anything. And so when that reassurance, when I told y'all that reassurance is literally the bridge between a secure attachment and an anxious attachment. Being in an anxious position right now, I'm not gonna lie, is probably better than anything. Okay? Because you know you only have, thank you, you know you only have one step into being secure and confident. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you be anxious and then you like, okay, well, I'm just gonna avoid the feelings that I feel. And then you start to cope and then you start to be codependent and then you start to like escape the reality. So now you keep pushing yourself back down emotional turmoil that you really could have just accepted and just say, you know, I'd rather be anxious and unsettled about this. So at least I can reassure myself and I can be more confident. It's simple. It's simple. A lot of this, the energy this week is very simple. It sets you up for the rest of the month to understand that things are happening and they're going to keep happening. But one thing I want y'all to know is that when I had the dream about the earthquake, like people wasn't even like it's like the earthquake happened and they was like, yeah, so shit gonna hit again in like 5 hours. I was mind boggled by that. Because what do you mean it's about to happen in 5 hours? Hello? Are we on the same air in the same place? Did we not just experience the same shit? And before the earthquake, we were all having a party. So it's in the midst of you enjoying yourself. It's in the midst of you having fun. You know, I think it's very serious right now. But like I said, the external things in life are helping you. So find joy in it. One of the things that I heard from a show today, and when I tell you it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, I watch TV. Right now, my homegirl, she 2 for 2 with the show she's recommended. I watch TV, okay? I know ball. This lady said, the philosophy of her husband is the fact of that you're greedy when everyone is scared, and you're scared when everyone is greedy. When I fucking heard that, like, I mean, I've watched shows, and of course, you know, you be into it, but when I tell y'all, I heard that and repeated that shit back instantly. Because I said, you are greedy when everyone is scared, and you are scared when everyone is greedy. Do y'all not know the world right now is very scared, and this is the best time to be greedy? You know how we always make that joke like, girl, rent was due when she made that fucking song. Put your all into that shit. Be hungry about that shit. That's why there's that energy, that there's a thin line between the destructive energy and the creative energy. Go create. And end all be all, go create. End all be all, go pour into yourself. End all be all, go do a project at home. DIY. Draw, color, dance, move. I mean, when all else fails, I'm telling you now, go do something creative. Because I'm not sure why it literally turns from creative to destructive, but it's not a good look. Like, it's not a good look. And the destructive things are like, just a lot of hypersexual energy. It's a lot of like, woe is me, victim, very, very victim mentality. You know what I'm saying? So, in order to get yourself out of victim mentality, you have to be seen as what? The hero, or see a hero, whatever. In order for hypersexuality, you have to learn, sexual discipline. So it's like, I don't know why it literally goes left and right. Like, why it's such a quick, somebody be like, oh, you need to take a left, you need to take a sharp right. I don't know why it's that quick of an energy of where you can go from creative to destructive, but I need everybody to stay on the streak of creativity. It will benefit you. It will benefit you. Spreading your energy, in a very abundant way. I think keeping to yourself as well is going to be a very big plus. Be very cautious of how much energy you give people. I don't really think you have to close yourself off and be nasty and rude, but I just think that you need to just keep a self checklist. If it's 24 hours in a day, every 8 hours, that's 4 times a day, you should be checking in to make sure that your energetic battery has not going down at all. If there's 24 hours in a day, that means that there's 4 check-ins that you could do every 8 hours to see where your energetic battery is this week and upcoming in October. You will see why I say that. Because let's say, you get up or whatever, a little bit, just a little bit. Let's say you get up or whatever and, let's say from 8 to 5, whatever, I'm just making up a time. Let's say from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Is that 8 hours? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. 8 to 4. 8 to 4. You know what I'm saying? You get up, you go to work, you handle some business, boom. From 4 to 12, which is, 4 to 12 a.m., boom. Or no, not 4. You have 3 check-ins. Sorry, y'all. My mind. You have 3 check-ins in a day. Talking about 4, that's 6 hours. You have 3 check-ins in a day, 6 hours, 8 hours, whatever. You just need to split the time up so you can be able to do multiple checks in a day to figure out where your energetic battery is. Because one person could come in while your energetic battery is high, and all of a sudden it's very low. See what I'm saying? You could be watching a show or whatever. Your energy was high, now it's low. That's weird. You were, your energy was low. You start talking to somebody else, now it's back high. You went outside, all of a sudden your energy goes down. If you be in a lot of if you're in an observant mindset when it comes to your energetic levels this week, you will be great, okay? Because anything that lowers your energetic field or your energetic battery is something that is having a power struggle within. There's a deeper issue there that you don't need to dissect. Now, if you are the killer of the energy, then bitch, you got some shit you need to dissect within you. But if you know damn well your energy levels is cool, you in your good mind, state of mind, your hair done, you looking cute, you smelling good, you at peace, then you know what I'm saying. But if you know you the person that's out here killing energy, then I need you to be very upfront and honest with yourself to say like, okay, maybe I need to take some time to myself. These daily check-ins that you'll be doing this week will keep you very much so informed. One of the things that I noticed about the collective is that they don't like to be informed. Information is not important to anybody right now, and that pisses me off because they don't want information. They want to be entertained. That's crazy. If I had the chance to be informed more about my spiritual this week, I'm gonna be and up, hands gonna be up. Do I want to be informed about what's going on in the collective? Not really. I mean, if whatever I need to know that truly, makes things better for me, cool. But in reality, like, I need to be spiritually updated at all times this week. I need to be informed. I don't need to be spiritually entertained. I need to be informed. What we talking about? What we doing? What's going on? Okay, because on the 13th, Venus enters Libra. Get ready to fall in love over the next few weeks as Venus enters charming Libra. With Venus at home in its ruling signs, and now it's time to attract the right partner, embrace romance. If you got check-ins, if you spiritually aligned, if you know your energetic battery, when Venus goes into Libra, beautiful time. You see, beautiful time. It's literally like magnets. Good energy. Yes. Great energy. You're around other people with good energy. Because what are they doing? Mental checks, spiritual checks, energetic checks. That's beautiful. You see what I'm saying? You got things in common. I'm telling y'all, that string, if you didn't watch the full moon in Aries reading that I did last year, go watch it. Yes, go watch it. You know, go watch it. Also, I had put in, I think I also posted a video about the North Node in Pisces. Go watch it. Babe. Literally, if the energy goes from, if the energy from that year transfers in this year, that you know what that means? That energy, that information is the answer to some of the shit happening now. I'm going to watch this video a year from now or watch October's wisdom a year from now. And I bet you the answers to the shit that's going on now will be in that video. Y'all don't understand that everything, all the answers that you need to a lot of things and to a lot of your problems or to a lot of the parameters or like not the parameters, the restrictions around your life right now, the answers are already there. Go ask them for them. I need y'all to send me this. I was in the bed. Okay, let me tell you something. I was in the bed the night that I had reposted all those videos. I was in the bed and they was like, go watch the energy from last October. And I was like, that's a lot of videos. Like, I had a lot of videos that month. And they was like, yeah, but just go watch significant ones. I said, okay. I didn't even realize that the full moon in Aries was the same time last year. So I was like, I'm going to watch it. In that video, I brought up the red string of fate. In October Wisdom, I brought up the red string of fate. Now, one thing about it, two things for sure. I don't have to repeat messages that I don't need to repeat them because they sound entertaining. You know? I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to, you know, a lot of people's true, me and my homegirl was talking about this. A lot of people's true prophecy will be showing over the next like year and a half. We'll always have fake prophets. We'll always have people that have fake information. But you see, one thing about it I love about what's happening in the world with the North Node and Pisces. North Node and Pisces will basically tell y'all that who is actually aligned with Jesus consciousness. Who actually has the gift of wisdom? Who actually has the gift of foresight? Remember I told y'all that a lot of people, they all claim these claros. I'm claro Bob this and claro audio and claro COBODO. E-I-E-I, everybody swear they a claro. Okay? And I don't feel like I should be on the internet bashing people with what they identify as. But what I love about the North Node and Pisces is the fact of that a lot of people have this false sense of prophecy. They have this false sense of assisting people's subconscious mind, which is actually manipulation. I'm a seer. I'm a high priestess. I'm a teacher. I'm a spiritual coach. I'm a preacher. Oh, okay. Okay. I told y'all the worst thing you can ever do is try to manipulate people's subconscious. Stop doing that. Seriously. What did I say in October Wisdom? Alchemy, there's multiple opportunities inside of it. Manipulation, there's all things you're trying to get out of it. Watch that shit. I don't know why I had to tell y'all that, but watch it because I see it. And I don't like that shit. I ain't never liked that shit. But one thing I was like, you know, you think about all the people that you like, you know, you watch, whether they did makeup, they did hair, they dressed up, or they taught you, they taught you or they did something, just everything that people are entertained by. And you think about where you were in that state of mind and where you were in that position of your life. And then you think about now. And then the Lord reveals the truth and he starts to let you see certain things. Your spirit starts to be like, And then the Lord says, but I'll give you receipts. If it's true, You'll never have to prove. I'll give receipts. And you will always have receipts. You won't have to prove. You'll have receipts. And so I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it because my homegirl was talking about it the other day, and we were just going back off like all the people that we used to listen to spiritually and all the people, just the things and how all of a sudden the Lord turned the switch off of like who we could actually resonate with. And see, and I I think about this because of the fact of for so long, I didn't know what to identify as because I just feel like none of that shit made sense to me. Like I couldn't say like, oh, OG the tarot reader. That's crazy. OG the spiritual coach. That also didn't make sense to me. It was like, oh, well, the teacher, I guess, whatever, whatever. Teacher is a very general term I could give. But in all, yeah, so I'm Erica. Okay, and this is my channel, and that's all I can do. You'll learn all of this, and that's it. That's all I can do. What I'm realizing is the fact of that there is so much manipulation to people's subconscious mind that is happening in the world that the goal that people initially had to manipulate you is being revealed. So their goal of manipulation that they were the initial goal of the manipulation, remind you, hear me when I say the initial goal of the manipulation, not the goals that they tried to pick up along the way. The initial goal of manipulation will be identified. I don't even have a time frame. Just know it will start to show. A lot of people, they picked up on certain things. Thank y'all. They picked up on certain things. Like they picked up on certain things to now they wanted to, so they could change. It's like they kept moving the post goal. They kept moving the rock. Like, okay, I can do this and I can do this. Whatever was the initial goal of manipulation will be seen. You'll see that in the world. You'll see that in the government. The government has been manipulating our minds about certain things because they always had a goal. Because their goals are running out, that means that the initial goal has to be revealed. And I feel like certain things you can't say on certain platforms because so many people, they be like, well, what do you mean by that? Let's go deeper. Bitch, you don't need to go deeper. It's literally, the proof is in the pudding. And I think that because a lot of people have dissolved their need to critically think, it's dissolved their ability to pick up on context clues. If you've ever paid attention to people of our history, they left us a lot of information very discreetly. Anytime you think that the government wouldn't, they would. So they left us a lot of shit discreetly. Because why would you tell them that? Why would we tell you that up front for somebody to what? Say out loud? Why would you see what I'm saying? So it's like certain things I just be like, when people want to get like explanation, I'd be like, no, because the same person that's asking for explanation, there's another person that's waiting underneath that comment just to see what the explanation is. So they can go tell, they can go flip it, so they now can manipulate it because they found a goal. Pay attention, people. Shit. Sometimes I feel like I'm not, sometimes I feel, and this is just me being transparent with y'all and like upfront. Sometimes I feel very irresponsible with life because I feel like, where there are other people that are, taking certain strides to life very, seriously. They're trying to do this and get into these accounts and do these trades and do all this and do all that. And I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I just feel like sometimes with my life path, I just feel like that ain't really what I'm supposed to do, as much as I try to push myself. Because sometimes they say like, oh, sometimes they say things like, oh, never mind. Never mind. But I'm just saying, pay attention. Just pay attention. Once you know the wisdom behind a lot of things, you can now grow. Just know that. Once you know the wisdom behind things, then you can grow. You don't have to indulge in certain things, and you don't have to execute certain things. You can just grow. Just know that. Don't be shy. No, this isn't shyness. This is smart. This is strategy, strategicness, and obedience. I love Scorpio energy. Scorpio's energy is so intense, but it's so good. It's so good. But let's see if I got anything else to tell y'all. Then I gotta go. That was something. Also on the 13th, Venus and Libra opposites Neptune and Aries. Neptune energy. Love it. Today isn't ideal for financial or romantic decisions, as we might be easily swayed by smooth talkers during this deceptive aspect. Thank you. Stay alert. Trust your instincts. What did I literally just say? What did I literally just say? It's not shyness, it's smart. It's not, people are not telling everything because you need to be discreet. And, you know, it's really preparing people for, you know, next year so they can shut their mouth, okay? Also on the 13th, Pluto goes direct in Aquarius. As I'm sitting here talking about Pluto, as we transition into the cold winter months, the planet of transformation inspires us to reflect on our community and how we can enhance it during this harvest season. Okay? It's the perfect time for volunteering, collaborating with neighbors, and letting go of what no longer serves you. So, as I said, let things flow, you know? You're welcome. Okay, I have to go. Watch this back. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I have a vlog coming. I'm not gonna lie. The vlog, we're just gonna have to do another one. I tried to do a hair vlog and I just be forgetting a vlog. So we're just gonna come up with some adventure and then I'm gonna vlog the adventure and then we're gonna go from there. So I love you guys and I'll see y'all later.